Hi, I'm Cheryl. Today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful thank you card. On the inside it says, "Your thoughtfulness brightened my day." See? So this is what we'll need. We need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5, and that's scored and folded at 4 1/4. Another piece of Whisper White that's 5 by 3 3/4, and a piece of Sweet Sugarplum, 5 1/4 by 4. And this is going to be matted, and our card go on the card front. We need some Tombow glue. I'm using my Burlap background stamp, my mini Misti, and I made a template, you see, and that has a 2-inch square cut from the middle. I cut this from Acetate. You could use cardstock, but then it's going to be a little more difficult to figure out where you're placing your template when we make the card. I have a Stampin' Right marker in basic black, a Memento Tuxedo black ink, crushed curry, wild wasabi, and sweet sugar plum. And let me show you the stamps we'll be using. We have this big thank you. We have this row of little daisy stamps here. And there's the sentiment for the inside, "Your thoughtfulness brightened my day." And we'll be using this daisy stamp also. So let's jump right in on the card. So I'm going to stamp the inside of the card first. So let me open that up. I'll put this in my mini Misti and tuck that down in the corner here. And I'll put a couple magnets on to hold things in place and decide where I want my sentiment. I want it right about here, I think. And then my little row of daisies. Now that looks pretty good to me. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it's lined up pretty good to me, but I'll just pick it up on the lid, and I can use the grid lines to double check and make sure that I do have things lined up properly. This could be just a little better. Okay, that looks fine. The flowers look fine. And I can ink that up with my Memento black ink. Get that inked. Be easier if I didn't have these stamp pads right here. There we go. And just bring that over, press, and there's our thing. Now I think that could be a little bit darker, perhaps. So let me re-ink this. I think I'm getting to the point I need to get myself a new Tuxedo black ink pad. I use this so much, and I've had it for so long. So let's do that again. Okay, that looks good to me now. And I can close that. I'll blow on a little bit just to make sure that it's dry. And we'll do the thank you on the front of the card. That will go. Oh, no, it doesn't go on the front of the card. Duh. That goes on our smaller piece of Whisper White. We'll put that in here. And I want my thank you to be just a little bit to the left side and about 1/2 inch up from the bottom. that up. I'll check my alignment in the lid, on the lid, and it looks like I lined it up very good. I can ink that. I'm using my mini Misti because of this stamp in particular, because it's a rather large stamp. Uh-oh. Let me flip this over. My paper wasn't down in the corner real well. Let's see, I'm going to hit that there. There we go. And I transfer a little bit of the ink to the card. There we go. Oh, so I was saying this is a rather large stamp, and I want to make sure that it comes out really well. So with the Misti, I can stamp again in exactly the same place. There we go. That's wonderful now. I can bring this out. Oh, the magnets need to go in there. Let me get the stamp out of there too, because I'll be looking for that later. Where in the world did I put that stamp? So now we can get our stencil. And I'm going to put 3 squares, one here, and one here. So you line this up, and I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch on either side here. I've got some little bits of tape. I'll just tape this down and get my burlap. You know what I didn't tell you, and I don't even have them out. We're gonna need some sponges. We'll need some sponges or daubers or something. Okay, there we go. I have pretty much everything I need right within arm's reach. I've set things up that way. So I have my burlap, and I'm going to not do the border, but I'm going to pick a spot inside here, and I'll start out with the oh, this isn't Daffodil Delight. Crushed curry. We want Daffodil Delight. Like, they are so terribly different. It would have worked. Crushed curry would have worked. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. Just a section of it. I don't need to ink the whole thing. And then I'm going to place it down over my little window opening, and I'll rub that real good. And there we go. We got most of it. I was a little off, but that's alright, because this is I'm going to do some sponging on here now too. Oop. Need to hold that down. So it's not a disaster. And we'll take this off. And I've got some baby wipes off the side here. I'm going to wipe my template off, and I'm going to wipe my stamp pad. Don't worry, later on I'll clean it properly. Yes, Mama, I know. I have to clean it right. Now I'm going to put I'll put the template down again, off to the side, kind of in the center, and about 1/8 of an inch from the edge, and we're going to overlap this square. Let me close up my Daffodil Delight and get my Wild Wasabi ink out. Get rid of that sponge so I don't use that again. And get myself a section inked up with the Wild Wasabi. You see? And then I'll try to center it a little better. Try to get it on my template this time. There we go. And we just rub that. Don't let your stamp move, but you do want to make good contact with your paper. And there we go. That's nice, huh? Let me wipe my stamp. The next color is going to be Sweet Sugar Plum. We don't want any of that green on there. If I weren't doing the video, I would probably actually take this and run it underwater just to make sure that I got everything out in all those little nooks and crannies. Okay, and we can peel the stencil up, and we need to clean that. Oops. We have to do our sponging. I almost forgot the sponging. Don't take your thing off yet. Don't take your template up yet. Okay, so I'll load another sponge up. I got a nice fresh sponge with the Wild Wasabi. Okay. And now we'll take this, clean this off real well. Because again, we don't want to get that green in with the Sweet Sugar Plum. That would make a nasty color. And I'm going to put that more centered this time. And it's going to overlap the thank you. Okay? So right here is where my square is. That's my square right there. That overlaps the thank you. It'll be easier to see once I stamp it and sponge it. And I'll use my Sweet Sugar Plum. Ink my Burlap stamp up again, but with the Sweet Sugar Plum this time. And get that right over my little window. And we'll rub that down. There we go. And taking another clean sponge. And actually, I don't even need to pick anything up from the stamp pad because I've got all this ink right here. That moved. There we go. And we sponge that. Okay, so now you can see how I position that when I put that down. It's actually covering part of the thank you. Now we can add our flowers. So let's see, where did our flower stamp go? There it is. And I'll need my Tuxedo black ink again. And let's see. I want one of my flowers to go this way. I want one of my flowers to point the other direction. And then my bottom flower, I want that straight up and down. Oh, that looks like that didn't get inked real well. There we go. I want that straight up and down. There. Now we'll add the stems. There is a stem in the set, but quite frankly, I'd just as soon draw my own little stems on. So we're going to just do a little curved stem from each of these flowers, just like so. and a straight stem going straight down from that bottom flower. And now we can assemble our card. Let's see. There's the sweet sugar plum. Flip this over. Put some Tombow glue on here. And of course, anywhere along the line here, if you want to pop something up, one of these panels up, then go right ahead and do that. Get your Stampin' dimensionals out and give it a little lift. I kept mine simple. Oop. There we go. That's why Tombow glue is so wonderful. You get a little bit of time there to reposition stuff if you need to. And so on the back of the Sweet Sugar Plum cardstock now, I'll put some Tombow too. And center that on the card front. And our card will be complete. It's a sweet card, and it doesn't take very long at all to do. So there we go. We've got our daisies, we've got thank you, and the reason we're thanking the person, and even a little bit of daisy decoration on the inside. So if you've liked this video, then be sure to hit the like button down below. If you'd like to see any more of my videos, hit subscribe. If there are any Stampin' Up! Products that you'd like to purchase using me as your demonstrator, and I would appreciate it if you did, you can do that either through my Facebook page or my website. And as always, I'll have all of my supplies listed down below here. And y'all, take care, stay safe, and happy stamping.